Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the MonaLisa Monroe Morning Show. Grab your coffee and your tea, hunty, because we have a lot to talk about today. Okay, before we get started, you guys know how we roll here at the show. We do the introduction. Hey, how are you? And then we do 3 red hot topics. We conclude, and then I'm out. I let you go about your merry day. But first, small commercial. Please go to my website, www.monalisamonroe.com, and get your Mona Lisa Monroe merchandise. www.monalisamonroe.com to get your merchandise and also to grab my book, Life After the Diagnosis. Please support me. I really appreciate it. We try here at the Mona Lisa Monroe Show to give shout outs to different companies, organizations that have done me a pound, as they say. So shout out to Tanisha Taylor, my yoga instructor. Yes, ma'am, I'm coming back. Please believe me. Please go to her yogainthemoment.com website. Schedule an appointment. She's amazing. I love her. Check out Crystal Gates, her t-shirts. Oh my goodness, she's amazing. And she also does massages. Crystal with a K, Gates. Amazing t-shirts, amazing masseuse. Okay? Okay. So let's get started. Our guest was going to be Miss Whitney Gilliard and Miss Marissa Pierce. Unfortunately, because of the inclement weather condition here in Georgia, we're under an alert. So they were unable to be with us today. But that's okay because I'm still going to tell you guys about this amazing organization that they are with. Miss Whitney Gilliard was the one that started the organization. Okay. Now let me show you a flyer or a brochure of the organization. That lighting is really bad, but this is the company, Gilliard and Company, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. Now, this is what she said in her own words. She's amazing. This is Whitney. Children often get removed from their home, foster homes, or placements from variety of reasons. Most children will spend that time at a government office waiting to be placed somewhere else. Instead of waiting in a government office building and sleeping on a desk for hours at a time, a kid can stay there 12 hours. Let's give them a room where they're comfortable, please. Now, this is what Gilliard said, Whitney. So she has a foster care organization that not just places children. This place is amazing. So this is what she stated, the reason for her starting the company. So there is a place here in Georgia called Have In, Havinn. It's a trauma intervention room in Chatham County, DFCS, where a child can stay during their time of transition within foster care. There, every child can sleep and relax in a comfortable setting rather than waiting in an office. Did you know that? So not only is she taking care of foster kids, she's making sure that they're not in an office waiting forever and a day. She partners with this particular company to give these children a room to sleep in, to stay in, to wait in. Because I'm not a foster child, but if you guys know of any, or if you are a foster kid, you can relate to the process. The process is what's stressful, strenuous, and traumatic for a child. So she started this great organization. So she partners with this company to just make sure you're settled even when they're dealing with your case. But I'm not even done yet with the company. Just continue to listen. The Gilliard and Company, which she calls the G and Co. ILP, ready for this? Provides transitional living assistance to qualified 18 to 21-year-old young adults aging out of the U.S. foster care system in Georgia. Yes, you heard me right. Kids that are aging out is what they use, that are 18 to 21. These kids are usually just put out in the street. Good luck. Hopefully you'll find a job. Hopefully, you'll do well, but there's no aftermath. There's no assistance after that. So this is when this company comes in. Her program, buckle up. Her program is designed to provide all expenses for apartment style housing, complete with rent for these children. Yes, you heard me right. I'm going to read it again. Her program is designed to provide all expenses for apartment style housing, complete with rent, utilities, groceries, furniture, and access to extracurricular activities and much, much more. Guys, did you just hear what I said? 18 to 21 foster care aged out children can basically call this company and start a brand new start. Good morning, Tanya. How are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. How are you? Oh, thank you. So, right now, this morning, looks like you're ready for the big time. Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate it. I try. I try. But Gilliard and Company is the company that I'm talking about right now. It's a foster care organization that helps the aged out children from 18 to 21. And I'm going to go over what they do one more time. Our program is designed to provide all expenses for apartment style living, complete with rent, utilities, groceries, furniture, and access to extracurricular activities. This is like a God sent. And then this is what she says. Our young adults participate in a 13-month program. So you're in a program for 13 months that guides them to achieve their optimum level of success and independence. So she's just not giving it to you willy-nilly. You have a program that you need to attend and hopefully pass, if that's the case, to get these services. Our staff at Gilliard and Company, of course, our staff is well trained to provide mentorship and assist young adults through daily challenges while forming solid, independent living skills for them. This company is amazing. I wish the weather wasn't uh, acting up right now to have her speak on this even more, but that's okay because we're going to have her back on the show. I just had to tell you guys about this organization for foster children that have aged out. And then this is what she says. We're more than a t-shirt. You know how they give away t-shirts. She said they're more than a t-shirt. You're right. When you purchase an item from their online store, you are raising awareness for all children and families affected by the foster care system. Good morning. How are you? Eric, good to see you. The donations we receive are used to directly benefit our children and families in need. There you go, people. Your donations help this organization do all of that. So I'm not going to leave you hanging. Trust me, I'm going to tell you everything about this organization so you can look them up and donate because you see what they're doing. And on top of that, this is Women's Month. Support a woman-owned business. Here you are. This is the perfect opportunity for you to support Whitney and Marissa. Okay, so I know you're okay. Give us the information. Okay, here it is. They are on Facebook and Instagram at Gilliard and Company. So just type in Gilliard and Company and they'll pop up on Facebook and Instagram. Their contact information is send them an email, info at gilliardandcompany.org, website www.gilliardandcompany.org. Their address, 1 Godley, and that is spelled Godley, Station, A as an apple, 105, Suite A, 105, in Pooler, Georgia 31322. Please email them, look on the website, check them out, see what all they got going on. This is an organization that is amazing. Gilliard and Company, please check them out. They are amazing. Whitney Gilliard and Marissa Pierce are that's their names. So we're going to have them back. We're going to talk more about the organization. I just pulled this little bit off the website, and I'm sold. I'm sold on them. If you know a foster kid that has been aged out, 18 to 21, please contact them to get this type of help. I mean, wow. Wow. They have mentors. They support you. They give you an apartment. I could go on and on. But anyway, Gilliard and Company, thank you, ladies. I'm going to have you back on the show. Don't even worry about it. We're going to bring you back. All right. Next topic. Oh, I know you guys. I know you guys. I have faith in you. So this is what I'm going to put out there. Stimulus checks. Have you got your stimulus check yet? Have you gotten your stimulus check yet? Please let me know. It's none of my, well, you know what? That's none of my business. If you got your check, that is none of my business. Are you going to invest your stimulus, some of your stimulus, or are you going to go spend, and spend that economy, stimulate the economy with the stimulus check? What are you going to do? Okay, so if you haven't gotten it, or if you have, what are you going to do with it? Now, if I'm invasive, if I'm being a little personal, I apologize, but I'm really curious because here we are with the economy crashing, everything looking like we are tore down, and they give us $1,400. It's not enough in some cases, but good morning. Thank you so much. It's not enough in some cases when you start talking about rent and things like that, but it's something that you didn't have. So, what are you going to do with the stimulus check? Invest or stimulate the economy by going shopping? And what are you going to do? Now, I am well aware that there's still food drives going on. There's still clothing donations being done, Salvation Army, Goodwill. I'm well aware of this. So if you are going to basically get the basic essentials, I totally understand that and appreciate that, you know? I mean, that's what the check is for, to make sure you have your bare essentials down. And a lot of people did get the first stimulus check. And what do they do with the people who have not received the first check? This is the second, yeah, this is the second batch, right? Well, I'm told on the news, because you guys know I'm stuck to the news sometimes. Um, it's gonna be a third one. It's gonna be a third stimulus check down the line. Hopefully, you know how we're going against a crew of folk called Republicans. So hopefully there's going to be a third one. But right now, dealing with the $1,400. And on top of that, they didn't give you 600 for the children like they did the first time. They gave you 1,400 for the children? Wow. Let's say you got 5 children. Let's say you have 4 children. Let's say you got 3. You are working with a pocket of money. So hopefully, prayerfully, you get the bills paid first. Well, tithe, ding. And then you get the bills paid, try to catch up, with whatever's due and all that good stuff. And then you buy the essentials and then you save, right? You would want to save, you would need to save. So, just curious on what you guys have you received it? What are you going to do with it? Did you get the first one? Some people didn't get the first one. Just a tidbit. Just give me a little something. I don't want to be abrasive. I don't want to be nosy. I don't know if that's, well, we are drinking tea. We are drinking tea and coffee. So, stimulus checks, they hit accounts 12 a.m. in the morning on Friday. Some hit on Saturday. I mean, so, and then with that, did you file your income tax check? Did you file your taxes? How did that go with you? How did that coincide? Because the income tax information is what stimulates the check. It's what gets the check to you, your income tax information. So if you filed 2 years in a row or last year, they have that same information. What if you didn't file your taxes? In 2020, man, what did we find? Yeah. 2020 crashed like in March. So if you did file your taxes in 2020, then that's great. So now we're talking 2021. Do you file it before you get the check? Well, the checks are out now. So are they going to take out taxes? I heard that they're not going to touch the check. All your money is your money. They are not going to tax it. So, do you add it in the tax return? Okay, so all of you out there that are tax preparers, can you answer that question? Jay Jackson, people with direct deposit and did their taxes, they got their checks. Okay, that is correct. They did get their checks. People who file taxes, who files their taxes on the regular, got their checks as soon as they hit. You were right. But those who don't file taxes, how do you get your checks? Well, they said that they were going to mail them out like they did the first time. If you didn't file taxes or they don't have the correct address. Now, because of what happened last year, whoever didn't have the correct address, whoever didn't have whatever, you should have made sure IRS had all your information because of all of the mess that happened last year. They were sending checks to dead people and all of that. So hopefully all of that has been cleared up and you filed and you got it, you got everything cleaned up. Now, if you go to the IRS website now and click where's my check or where's my stimulus check or where's my refund or something like that, the website might crash on you because can you imagine how many people are looking for their stimulus checks right now? But my question is, do you even, I mean, that's a lot. Okay, so we're talking about $1,400 for you, $1,400 for each child, and that's the stimulus package. And then we're talking about money for unemployment. Unemployment, I think, is like 600, 800, something like that. And then we're talking about your income tax checks. So, guys, we're talking about you having some money. Okay. Now, I also read in the news, unfortunately, because you've been without for so long, then there's a mentality. Now, this is unfortunate, but this is just real life. There's a mentality out there that's I'm getting ready to get this because I don't know when this money's going to happen again. I don't know. It's like a survivor survival mode. Um, yeah, and that can be dangerous. So, what I read in the news was 4 people ended up getting shot. And in those 4 people was an 8-year-old. Guess what it was about? Stimulus check. Somebody felt like somebody spent, stole, whatever the case may be, and they shot 4 people, including an 8-year-old. As my grandmother and my mother used to say, in behind, check. So you're going to get quite a bit of money. Stimulus, tax returns, unemployment, and if you're working, your regular check. So you have an opportunity to do some things, catch up with some things. So hopefully you do the right thing. So I'm surprised. You guys, I'm curious. Have you heard about the shooting? About the stimulus check? It was over a stimulus check. I'm not making this up. I promise. You can Google shooting stimulus check and you'll see it. Have you heard about that? And what do you say with what? Okay, so what do you say to people that have been struggling? I mean, it's a lot of people that have been in those food lines. Gang, these food drives, these food lines are miles, hundreds of people that need food. I mean, we're and so what do you say when you do give them all this money? Well, hopefully they will pay for what they need. Yes, Tanya, for the love of money. Isn't that a song? Yes, New Jack City. That's where, yeah. You see? Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then just to think about all the people that are at home uh, dealing with depression, dealing with addictions, dealing with all of this. And, in some cases, a lot of money might not be the best thing. I don't know. It just reminds me of the conversation about reparations. You know, when they finally give you reparations, what do you do with that? What do you do with the reparation money when you do get it? And what are you going to do with it? It was a comedian, I think it was a comedian, I forgot his name, but he said, you know what we're going to do? You're going to see Cadillacs are going to be everywhere. Mercedes Benz, BMWs, Gucci, Prada, Jackson. If you did not do your taxes in 2019 and 2020, you can put it on your tax. Oh, really? If you did not get the stimulus first check, you can file for it on the 2021 taxes. Wow. Thank you, Jackson. That's some good information. Wow. Very interesting. Because and why didn't they get the first check? Was it because of, did they ever tell you? That's another thing. Do they tell you the reason why you didn't get your first check is because the address was incorrect or whatever? Hopefully they tell you that on the website, the IRS website. They usually tell you what the deal is. If they can tell you that something's pending and whatever, they should be able to give you the reason why you didn't get it or you're not getting it, or you even have to wait. It should say, pending or something like that. Oh, that was great information. Thank you so much. Any other tax preparer, please let me know what this process is. Now, a lot of people didn't know, but you can file your taxes as any time of the year. I don't know if you know that, but you can file your taxes any time of the year, except if you owe the IRS. Now, if you owe the IRS, you have a deadline, which is always April 15th. But what I read also was they're going to try to move that to May 15th. I don't know how, I'm still looking, I'm still reading to see what they're going to do with that. But if you owe the IRS, they're going to give you another month to get your taxes done. But if you don't owe, you can file your taxes at any time. Now, most people file their taxes in January and February to get, the money back, to get, things popping, buy some things and things like that. And to also get the cash advance. I mean, it's, you need what you need when you need it. But you could file your taxes right before school to get the kids school right now. School right now is online, or is it? Are schools open now? I know my son is still online, so whichever school is open, that's a good time to file your taxes right before school. Get the kids what they need. Blah 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 blah. Or I have also known people to file taxes right before a family vacation. So let's say July, you could file your taxes in July and have money for your trip. Are we flying? Well, the airlines are open. I don't know if we're flying yet though. I saw on the news that airlines are opening. Oh, and they have some amazing rates. So if you have had the vaccine, um, I was told that some vacation spots are requiring a vaccination card or something to show that you have been vaccinated. Some vacation sites. And I'm thinking that some airlines might be asking for verification of a test or vaccination before you get on the plane. I don't know for sure, but whoever's traveling, please educate. Please educate whoever's traveling. Hmm, that's some good stuff. Aren't you just ready? Aren't you just ready to start traveling again? Oh my gosh. Are you just not? I know I am. But of course, we have to wait until families, folks get vaccinated and tested. But Biden is saying that we should be maybe 80% by June, 100% before the fall. I can't wait. Aren't you guys ready for the world to just, well, it's not going to go back to usual. I can tell you that right now. It's some things that have changed for the good and for the bad, but we might as well forget about it going back to what it used to be. That's just not going to happen. Okay. So, enough on stimulus checks and tax returns. You guys already know that I have to talk a little bit about something that I thought was interesting. Now, a lot of people talk about cancel culture. I call it accountable culture because cancel culture is holding people accountable to what they say. Jackson, you saying all the reasons now because the IRS, the one who handle the money, that's why you can put it on your taxes and file for it. Okay, good information. Thank you. Tanya, who is ready to go back to church? I am. Hello. And I'm glad that you sort of segmented me into there because we want to talk about Kirk Franklin. I don't know if you guys have heard in the news, it's everywhere, but the beloved Kirk Franklin has been recorded by his son, who is 33 years old. And on the recording, Kirk Franklin used some foul language. He cursed a little bit. Now, it's some church folks that are putting him on the cross for that conversation. But a lot of people are supporting him. They're saying that, hey, children nowadays are disrespectful. That's your son. You can discipline your son however you want to. And also, it's been said that, hey, that was a private conversation. So we can't really talk about something that you and your son dealt with privately. So between you and your son, hey, handle your business. And then we have, of course, the perfect people that feels like that he should step down from gospel music. He needs to, we need to cancel him from recordings and all of this. So I'm going to open the floor up and see what you guys think about Kirk Franklin and the whole thing about the recording. And then I'll let you know what I think. So, what did you think? And do you think we should cancel Kirk? I mean, come on. Do you think we should cancel him because he was using profanity on a phone call with his son, his 33-year-old son, that he said disrespected him? And let me put this out here. It was said in an interview with him that it's, yes, we are sinners that are saved, okay? We're saved by the blood of Christ, yes. And it was also said that you should know better because you are walking this walk with Christ. And then it was said that if you were to basically close the door and follow some of these Christians home, you will be shocked to see how they live. Is that an excuse for Kirk to cuss? No. But it is a consideration because no one's perfect. Steve Harvey said something on his show because, of course, Steve Harvey and Kirk Franklin are friends. And Steve Harvey said that Kirk Franklin has helped him out of some spiritual dumps, depression, and things like that. So he is in his corner. Steve Harvey said that Christians that feel like they're holier than thou need to stop because what's his name? Uncle Tommy has this phone prank that he does on the daily. And these phone pranks, most of the time, are with pastors, Christians, choir members. And Steve Harvey said, when that phone prank gets raw, he said, every Christian on that phone prank ends up cussing on that line. That's what he said. So he said people need to stop. Okay. Tanya, as a pastor, once told me, a church is perfect until you join. That's true. And Kirk Franklin said on Tamron, he said, I'm an imperfect person that serves a perfect God, which I thought was very touching. Jackson, where is Kirk Franklin? Where is Kirk Franklin? Is his father? It started 33 years ago looking for an entitlement. It's not going his way. And eventually he don't respect his father because he wouldn't do that, looking to get famous himself as possible. Franklin Bishop, not a preacher, not an evangelist. He's a gospel singer. Okay, that's true. And Kirk has said that. Nephew Tommy is the correct name. Okay, nephew. I thought it was uncle. Nephew Tommy, you're correct. Thank you. You're right. He's a gospel singer. He's not a preacher. He's not a pastor. He's not a bishop. That's true. And Steve Harvey made a solid point too. I mean, it has been I mean, you put a Christian against the wall, and I'm telling you, you'll be shocked. Not to say that what Kirk did was right. We have done wrong. Trust me, we have. But to go in on him like that, I just don't think it's fair. So now here's my point of view on it. I think that first of all, it was low for his son to record that conversation. I think it's low for anybody to record a conversation and use that conversation against someone without that person's permission. Now, if this was a cry for help for his son, sometimes children do different things for a cry for help. Then, like Kirk Franklin said, he's going to try and continue to help his son. And he also said that their relationship has been damaged for a long time. And, him and his mother, unfortunately, didn't work out. And now Kirk is, pretty much famous and has money and all that. And so I don't know what his son's motive was. I don't know why he did what he did. But if it's to get him back, whatever you do to get someone back, you will pretty much get that same thing done to you. Because you don't do evil for evil. You don't do that. Okay. So whatever you planned on doing to someone to destroy them, you might as well buckle up, because those same rules, regulations, situations, motivation, whatever it is going to come back on you. And The Color Purple said it. Whoopi Goldberg in The Color Purple did that number there. Whatever you done to me, gonna be done to you. Jackson, in my opinion, his son is wrong. I mean, he was wrong. He was just wrong. I'm reminded of the lyrics of an old school song. If you're living in a glass house, don't throw no stone. I'm leaving that right there. That's true. And if your point was to say that Kirk Franklin is not who he say he is, if Kirk Franklin is a sinner and he cusses and da 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 da, if that's your point, believe it or not, if Kirk is not who he says he is, it's going to show up. It's going to show up. Now, some people would say that this is the show up. I don't know. I just don't think it was right the way it was done. And this is not just one video. He put out another video that's completing the cursing, the call, you know. So, and then, there's laughing in the background, which Kirk straightened up, cleaned up, and stated on Tamron who that laughing was. And he said that it was the uncle. So I don't know if it was his brother or his uncle or what, but he just said an uncle was at his house and heard Kirk going in, and he started laughing. And so Kirk was like, that was not my wife, because it has been said that it sounded like her and they thought it was her. But he said it was not my wife. And she was sitting right beside him. And she said, that was not me. I wasn't even at the house. But I go through this on the daily, dealing with him and his son. So there's that. I just thought that was really interesting, because why is it that the Christian community has no room for people that fall short? Now, molestation, abuse, things like that, I'm not talking about that, because that's a totally different conversation. I'm just talking about someone that failed, that fell short, and as the church, we supposed to bring these people in to help them, not to crucify them. And I mean, you can watch it on every movie, every documentary. You can ask anybody. It is so hard to get church people sometimes to see the error of their ways before they can put a log in your eye, because there is a cabin in theirs, but they don't look at their stuff. They just look at your stuff. And why is it that we do that as Christians, as believers? No, you know what? Let me because that word Christian, it has been, yeah, it's been abused and mistreated. Okay, so let's say believers and followers of Christ. Let's say that, because I really think you talk about two different people. To be honest with you, a Christian and a believer, I just think that that's two different people, because I am a firm believer of relationship and not religion. Jackson, to prove a point, that's his son's first name. We don't know who he is. We Good morning. How are you? Well, that's true. We don't know. I mean, I don't know anything about his son. Don't even get me started. I don't know him. I just know what he did to his father in a weak moment, as Kirk Franklin, pretty much said. In a weak moment, he was very upset because his son disrespected him. How? I don't know. That part of the phone call wasn't recorded. That was part of the call that was conveniently not reported. Because when your child, okay, let's bring it home. If your child was to disrespect you, what would you do? What would you say? As a Christian woman, let me tell you something. You try your best, and I can only speak because I'm a woman. You try your best not to do different things and show your children different things. And I was a single parent for years. And my kids can probably tell you how many times that I lost it. They could probably tell you. And then they could tell you how many times I lost it to the point to where I lost who I was. And that would be a conversation, because when you lose it, and you lose it meaning you forgot who you were and who you're representing, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a situation. And if you're making me go out of my character because of you, then I need to leave you alone, because you're making me change who I am, right? I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with someone who I raised, birthed in this world. But a man might handle things differently. But a woman, as a woman, a mother, and you disrespect me or upset me, I'm just pretty much gonna cut it off. I'm just, yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking. Oh, you made my point. Yeah, yeah. Jesus teaches us to forgive. So why are the saints passing judgment? I know. Jesus teaches us to repent. He repented, Kirk. In your words, it's going to be a brighter day. Move forward, brother, and stomp. Okay. I mean, really, I feel the same way. I just think that, yes, it was a bad moment. It was a dark moment. He apologized to the community, to the church community, and that's it. I mean, that's it. That's where it should end. I think so. I mean, if you guys know Leandra's story, Leandra had a rough beginning as well. And she was drugged in the community, drugged by Christians when they found out she had an addiction, alcohol addiction. Uh, they drug her, and she is the gospel artist. She can, I mean, and she was like, basically, I am a wretch undone that has been forgiven by Christ, why won't you, as a Christian community, forgive me? And if we remember, if we read our Bible correctly, who crucified Jesus? Who took Jesus through the ringer? Who did Jesus pretty much? I mean, it's going to be your peers. It's going to be and I hate, man, I hate that. I hate that because sinners go, why should I come if you guys are going to crucify me? So we need to be, I'm sorry, Mike, bring Mike's comment. Kirk did nothing wrong in my opinion. Thank you, Mike. I mean, yes, he fell short. Yes, it was wrong. Don't get me wrong, it was wrong, but we shouldn't continue to crucify him. We should be in love. Okay, so that goes across the board in a lot of arenas. We should be more about love. And I know it sounds corny. I know it sounds cliche. I know. But guess what? It is what it is. We have to operate in love because that's who we supposed to be. That's who we supposed to be representing. You're quick to say God is love. Well, you're God's child. And don't you supposed to look like him? Don't you supposed to walk the walk and talk the talk like him? Yes, you will fall short because you are human, but you keep moving. Like Tanya said, stomp. And you need to stomp on. We got to be. Okay, that's another thing. We have to operate in love, yes. And we have to operate in self-control. Now that's another one. Self-control. Now, Kirk, if you have if there's anything I would like to tell you, it would be I would fast and pray for God to strengthen me and help me with self-control. Now that's biblical. A double-minded person is unstable in all his ways. A disciplined, self-controlled person would have did something different. Ivan, how are you? I'm hearing secondhand tidbits regarding Kirk Franklin. Guess I'll have to go to the National Enquirer or the Globe. Well, yeah, I mean, the last couple of minutes, we're basically just saying, what did you think about what you heard? And if you don't know, it was Kirk Franklin was recorded using profanity against his son. He who is without sin cast the first stone. That I mean, that's what Jesus said. That's right. I mean, like he told the woman that was caught in the middle of adultery. And and let's break that scripture down. Where was the guy that was caught in adultery? Why wasn't he brought to the table? She was. Everybody was crucifying her, ready to kill her with stone. But where was the man? That's a whole different show. Yeah, that's a whole different show. But that's okay because we go visit that. But yes, if I was to say anything to my guy Kirk Franklin, it would be to practice self-control because I'm telling you, Jesus, and we supposed to be walking like him and trying our best to be like him, right? He walked in self-control because he would tell people it's not my time. He would tell people not right now. He would tell people it's what did he oh well hey when Satan came to him 3 times, that's self-control. Satan offered him the world, offered him food, offered him everything. And self-control said, it is written. Tanya, because a man wrote the Bible. That's why we don't know where the woman was. Tanya, Miss Hall. Yeah, that's a whole. You know what? I think I got my Easter resurrection show. I think I'm going to talk about that because who saw him first? Women. Okay, so that would be the only thing I would tell Kurt is just to practice self-control because your son made you lose it. Your son made you go off the hinges. And then also disrespect. Okay, I'm not a man. I'm a woman, 100% woman. Disrespect for a man is huge. I know this. The Bible states it. So disrespect is huge. Disrespect and pride. Okay. So, yes, your son disrespected you. But did pride and ego kick in? Did it contribute to you cussing? And I know how to say profanity, but we're breaking this thing down right now. Ivan, I saw one panel cartoon where Jesus said, let him who is without sin, oh, never mind. Gladys, won't we love to know what Jesus wrote in the sand when they brought the woman who committed adultery? Oh my goodness. Miss Gladys. Gladys. Yes. Wouldn't that be nice? If I was Jesus, I would look around and I would say, now it takes two to commit adultery. Where is the man? I'm just saying. So my point previous, if you disrespect a man, that's huge. But I also would ask Kirk to dig deep on this one because if ego and pride didn't kick in, would you have went there really? Because you probably felt like you're disrespecting me in front of uncle, whoever that uncle was. And then you felt like you had to, you know, let me tell you something. Because if you hear the recording, his voice changed, especially after the laugh. So I would have to ask Kirk to dig a little deep and see if ego and pride didn't kick in and it wasn't just about the disrespect at that point. It went from that to you're not going to embarrass me and show me up on this phone. And that happens. It happens. You don't want to be disrespected. You don't want to be whatever the case may be. And like I said, it happens. But can you be accountable for that? Can you admit to that? So I'm going to leave you with this. In everything, before you lash out, before you reach out, before you do anything outside of yourself, go inward. Self-awareness, self-control, self-discipline. As the saying goes, know thyself. I'm just saying. You can quickly find something wrong with somebody quickly, but can you find something to work on in yourself? So if anything, that phone call really made me look at me versus me doing that to Kirk. So thank you, Kirk, for making me look at me. Thank you so much for tuning in today. please go to my website, www.monalisamonroe.com. Support your girl.